We are ready to begin play. Number 8.
Shayna Salas. Kicks it off.
Gets it back.
Ellie Flynn.
That's deflected out of bounds there by Concord. And we have a throw in here. Header by Concord. Knocked back by Bedford. Right now the ball is just kind of being knocked around by both teams in midfield.
Grace Devaney's fighting for it for Concord, but Bedford wins it back.
And there we go. Down the sideline to Salas. She gets control. Gets around one player. Tries to center it up to Jessica O'Brien at the top. And there's a kick that's knocked away by Concord. Heading for the out-of-bounds line, being chased down. And Concord comes up with it. Coming up the sideline, there's a feed pass up to number 8.
Ashley Plant. And out of bounds, Bedford ball throwing.
No score so far here in the first half, 38-48 remaining. It's 40-minute halves here in Division I soccer. Ball is out of bounds once again.
Ellie Flynn kicked it out, and that was Concord's throw-in. Number 20, Jennifer Graham, will be throwing it in.
Carly Richards tries to pass it over to Autumn Nudd, or make that Grace Devaney. Now Emma Pope with it. Fires it toward the corner, and
rolls out of bounds.
Hernick's going to just let it go out, and they'll take over there.
It looks like it was deflected by a Bedford player.
So they're going to award a corner kick there?
Yep.
Well, I'm surprised that Hernick let the ball go out of bounds like that.
Yeah,
so we have a corner kick.
Is that Carly Richards?
And there's the kick. Deflected in front of the net. Knocked away by Bedford. And they come up with the ball. Grace Devaney comes up with it. Feed pass inside, kick, and they're going to call that offsides. Close call there for Bedford.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a great feed pass from Devaney to Ashley Plant.
Yep, right in the middle, in the box.
So here's a free kick by Bedford to midfield. Goes over everybody's head. Salas tries to get control. The feed forward, knocked away. Bedford trying to gain control here, but they have to regroup by sending the ball back. Elizabeth Flynn sending it back to midfield. Kicked forward there, and it's going to go out of bounds.
Brianna Coco tried to pass it to Jess O'Brien, but it went out.
A little too far for O'Brien. Now the ball's inbounds. Emma Pope drops it back to her defense, number 12, Allison Yansky. She's being watched there closely by Salas. Gets it back to the goaltender. Then upfield and taken over there. Can't quite make out the number. Bedford intercepts, sends it back. Concord has it back again. The pass forward taken over by Bedford. DeAngelis had it for a moment. Now the Tide takes it back. That's number 7, Nicole Toller.
Ellie Flynn has a ball now. She's bringing it upfield.
Gets it by one player, but has it taken away. Now Bedford has it back. Sends it out to the side where it goes out of bounds, and Concord will throw it in.
Bedford had a couple of opportunities there because Concord bobbled the ball a bit, but they didn't take advantage, it seemed.
So they're fighting for the ball, 2-on-1. Kicked across, but taken over by Carly Richards for Concord. Ball up the sideline. It's going to go too far.
Yep,
another turnover by Concord there. Couldn't get to a Jennifer Graham for Concord. Couldn't quite reach it.
Bedford throw-in.
Throw in there by Jessica O'Brien. That's knocked away. They get it back, kick it back in. Advance to midfield. And Ashley Plant has it for Concord. Trying to get away from one Bedford defender. They lose it, knock it out of bounds, and they'll have the throw-in.
Yeah, it looked like Shayna Salas kicked it out, and now it's Concord's throwing.
A little too far. Bedford takes over.
And again, it's Concord's throwing closer to the goal.
Ball is kicked toward midfield, but Concord maintains control. Now it's intercepted by Bedford.
Paige Muir almost was able to kick it upfield, but it was blocked by Concord.
Now Jennifer Graham tries to get it up. Concord's maintaining control here so far. Riley Riddell with it at the 50-yard line. Long pass in, broken up by Bedford, taken back by Concord. Number 7, Nicole Toller. Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be remaining Concord's ball. The throw-in off the head of a Tide player. Now back to midfield. Pass across to Emma Pope. And back to midfield to the defenders, where Graham has it now. Being watched there. Gets by one Bedford player. Has it taken away. It's Paige Muir with the big defensive play there. And now here comes Gabrielle DeAngelis. Here's a breakaway chance. Shot and a goal. Beautiful shot there on a breakaway.
That's Olivia Toulon who got that goal. She kicked it low to the left side, right past the goalkeeper.
So Toulon puts Bedford up 1-0 at the 33-32 mark of the first.
Number 15, Olivia Toulon. Assisted by number 7, Danny DeAngelis.
That was a very opportunistic goal by Bedford. They were having trouble maintaining control, but very heads-up defensive play there by Paige Muir to break up a possession led to the long pass and goal there by Toulon.
Absolutely. They took advantage of that defensive lapse by Concord.
Now Concord's trying to clear the ball out of the zone, but having trouble. Possession is still up in the air. Finally, a long clearing pass taken over. Carly Richards for Concord now. Being watched by 2 Bedford players, finally loses the ball.
Yep, Gabby DeAngelis stole it back.
Long cross pass to Mackenzie McEachern there. Gets it to her partner. Long shot that goaltender Mallet is able to play. Holds on.
No trouble with that.
32-34 remaining here in the first half. Bedford in the lead, 1-0. Mallet with the long kick. Fired back into the Concord end. Riley Riddell tries to move it up. Instead, Paige Muir breaks up that play. Now a long lead pass there by Gabrielle DeAngelis down low. Centering pass picked up by the goaltender Mallet.
There was nobody there from Bedford to kick that in. It was easy play by the goalkeeper.
So Mallet punts the ball off a Concord defender. Bedford tries to take advantage, but instead the ball goes over to Grace Devaney. Now Allison Silverstein. Bedford comes up with it now.
Ellie Flynn carrying the ball, passing it downfield.
A little too far pass. Ball is loose, kicked away by Concord. And the Tide takes over and controls. Silverstein has a cross pass over to
Gabby DeAngelis.
She intercepts it. Now Salas fighting off a check there. Finally loses the ball to Sydney Plant. Fires it up the sideline.
And Bedford kicks it out of bounds for another Concord throw-in over on the team side of the field. Throw-in at midfield. Broken up by Bedford.
And knocked out by Concord. Oh, not quite.
Yeah.
And does now finally, yes.
Yep,
So
Bedford
this will be a
throw-in.
throw-in for Bedford. So Salas throws it in. Bedford retains possession. Lead pass too far, knocked back to midfield. Two number 8s fighting for possession there. And then Silverstein for Concord has it momentarily.
Concord's doing a good job in their passing. They're holding a lot of possession so far.
Sidney Plant had it for a moment, gets it up. Now lead in to Devaney. That goes too far, rolls all the way to the Bedford goaltender, Hernick. And she picks it up and gets control of the play. Kick upfield. Bedford with control, gets by one. There's a feed pass broken up by Concord.
Ellie
And then Flynn
to Paige
tries to
Muir,
get across.
to Jess O'Brien upfield, and Concord steals it back.
Broken up again there by Bedford. Possession just back and forth in midfield so far. Both teams trying to get a flow going. That's Brianna Coco, 14. Broken up again by Concord. That goes out of bounds. It's going to retain Bedford ball there. Mackenzie McEachern with the throw-in. There's Tolan. McEachern takes a shot
Nice
toward goal,
center.
but easily handled there by Mallet. Bedford is up 1-0 here, thanks to goal by number 15, Olivia Tulin. She got that at the 33-32 mark here of the first.
Jess O'Brien chasing down number 8.
That's Ashley Plant down the sideline, still with it. Finally turns it over. Ball is loose along the out of bounds line. Finally goes out. That's going to retain Concord's possession there. Number 20, Jennifer Graham will do the throw-in.
Substitution. Number 7 came off, Nicole Toller. And I didn't catch who came in.
We'll see if we could figure that out. But turnover there on the throw-in.
I think it was Lillian Rienstra, number 14, I believe.
So Bedford will have a free kick. Salas. It strikes Grace Devaney. Broken up again by Concord. Goes out of bounds. We'll have a throw-in.
Bedford throwing. Ellie Flynn carrying it up the sideline, bouncing it around, and out of bounds again. Concord throwing.
Here we go. Got a flow going here finally, but it's broken up by Concord. Held in by number 7, Bedford. That's get Giangelis. Still with it. Tries to feed Muir a little too far.
Yep, it's going to roll out of bounds.
Goes all the way to
Goal line.
goaltender will take the opportunity here to kick it.
Goal kick, Concord. Paige Muir received that, then gave it up to Concord.
Carly Richards there for a moment. Bedford gets it back. There's Flynn. Gets it back to her defense.
And Brianna Coco attempted to send it upfield, but it bounced off a Concord player, and now it's Bedford throwing.
Ashley Plant was the one who knocked it out of bounds for the Tide. So we're waiting for play to set here.
Yep, substitution.
Another substitution. Who do we have in? Number 24 for Bedford, I believe. Don't have a number on that. Maybe on the JV roster. Is one of the JV players going?
It could be. Paige Muir came off the field. 24 is Sophie Alexikos, sophomore, from JV.
Now she's in the game. Now it's Concord trying to get something going here, a pass along the sideline, and instead they just decide to knock it out of bounds and give up a throw-in.
Thrown into the box. Gabriella DeAngelis sent it upfield, but Concord got the possession back.
They seem to be able to get into just the right spots to collect the ball, and Bedford does what it can to at least slow the play down by knocking the ball out of bounds.
Yep. That
So
was Brianna.
throw in there along the sideline, and it's knocked out. When what will be the call here? It'll be a Concord throw-in.
Yeah.
14, Lillian Reinstra will be doing the honors. Ball's thrown in.
Into the box.
Header by Bedford. Back out of bounds off of Reinstra, and Concord will take over.
Actually, I think it's Bedford throw-in. It went off ahead of a Concord player.
Back and forth, out of bounds, and a throw-in for Concord. Gets it up to Ashley Plant.
Who sent it back out of bounds. Bedford throw-in.
Finally, a little bit of control here. That's Flynn. Still with it. Gets it across. Being harassed by a few Tide players, and they wind up turning the ball over. Now Grace Devaney tries to get it up. Almost broken up there. Devaney with the ball back. She runs into the Bedford player, winds up losing the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, Brianna Coco was able to stop that ball.
But Concord retains possession. Jennifer Graham takes the long kick. Tries to feed her teammate. Bedford just sends it out of bounds, and we'll have a throw-in for Concord. Graham once again throws it in. Header off by Devaney to the corner. Bedford's just going to let it go out, and they'll retain possession.
Goal kick, Bedford. Looks like Jess O'Brien will be taking the goal kick. Sent to midfield.
Picked up there by Mackenzie McEachern. She sends it down the sideline to Flynn. Flynn still has it, maintains control, sends it toward the goal.
Yeah, nice center by Ellie Flynn, but it went straight to the goalkeeper. So.
Mallet picks it up for Concord, and she'll just kick it away here. 22-26 remaining in the half. 1-0 Bedford on a goal by Tulin at 33-32. DeAngelis sends it to the sideline. It goes out of bounds, but it went off a Concord player, so the Bulldogs retain possession.
Throw-in.
Broken up by Concord. They send it up the sideline. Still loose. Sends it up. Concord trying to come up with it. Looks like they do. Momentarily. Nice move there by Devaney. But Bedford takes it back.
Shayna Salas passing it to Ellie. And looks like Concord got possession again.
Graham with it on the far sideline. Crossing the midfield stripe. Intercepted there by DeAngelis. Back to Graham. Concord still trying to find an opening here. They had one pretty good scoring chance. Actually, they did score, but it was ruled out on an offside, so they took that one away. Good defensive play there by the Bulldogs. They send it up the sideline. Past Graham, but picked up by number 12, Allison Yansky. Correction, that's Emma Pope with the ball right now. 11, Flynn breaks it up and comes the other way for Bedford. Tries to feed McEachern up the sideline too far.
Yeah, a little bit too far there.
And Riley Riddell will try to play it. It goes out of bounds. I believe they're going to say that went off of McEachern.
Yeah,
and Concord will retain control.
it was purposely kicked off of McEachern, and it'll be a goal kick for Concord.
Coming up on the 20-minute mark here, the first 20-25 remaining right now. Bedford leading 1-0. Now with the kick. Off a Bedford player. Devaney tries to take it. Has to fight off
Gabriella
DeAngelis. Graham now with it across field for Concord. Feeds it up, and it goes out of bounds. It's going to be Bedford ball here.
Jess O'Brien is taking the throw in. We have a substitution.
Let's see who we got here.
Jess O'Brien is coming off, or
is that number 18? I can't quite make out the number.
they're making some moves here. So Jess is coming off. Ellie Flynn is moving to
Actually, it's number 10.
center.
Ashley Bobotis comes into the game for Bedford.
And so she's playing striker. Or a left wing.
Out of bounds off of Concord. It'll be a throw in for Bedford.
DeAngelis with the throw in.
Loses it to Graham. Tries to send it upfield. Lillian Reinstra. Taken away there by Salas. Coming up the middle. That's broken up. Now Flynn gets it across. Bounces off Sydney Plant and sends it up to Lillian Reinstra along the sideline. It goes out of bounds, but it'll be Concord ball.
Yep. We have a substitution now for Concord.
Was that number 7? Nope.
Yep, I think so.
Toller.
Toller came on, and was it Carly Richards, number 9, that went off?
So DeAngelis for Bedford tries to feed it up, sent back by Concord. Silverstein gets it up to Nicole Toller. Across to Graham. Tries to center it back. Ball's loose momentarily, picked up by Concord. That was
Grace
Devaney with the ball. Now Graham has it again. Tries to get by. Silverstein controlling the ball, being harassed. Graham tries to settle it down. Cross field pass over to Emma Pope. She's got some room to operate. Gets by one Bedford defender, but not the second. But her teammate is there to take the ball back and control. Graham again tries to settle things down. Up to Toller. Back to Graham. So far they're able to control the play here. Silverstein. Now number 12, Yansky. Toller gets the ball knocked away momentarily, but Emma Pope is able to regain control.
The passing by Concord has been very
precise, very controlling. They definitely have an advantage with in the field of play today. Very dangerous, but they haven't been able to penetrate the Bedford defense very much so far. Most of the play happening in midfield.
Yes.
Now Bedford takes over. Mackenzie McEachern tries to feed it inside. That's broken up. But Ashley Bobotis manages to recover. Ball's finally cleared away by Riddell to midfield. Fired back into the end. Bobotis is trying to break that up and does momentarily, but Concord gets it back. Another takeaway there by Bedford. Pass to number 4, McEachern. She was covered by too many people, so that got broken up. Silverstein tries to get out of the zone, sends it up the sideline. It's out of bounds. And who will they award the ball to there? It'll be a Bedford throw-in.
Yep, Bedford ball. We have another substitution. Paige Muir came back in. And I didn't see the number who went off.
Throw in there. Bobotis couldn't make the play. It's knocked back. Header up, intercepted by Concord, and sent up the sideline, but knocked away by...
Brianna Coco headed it out of bounds. Now it's Concord ball, throw-in.
Players are getting into position. There's the throw-in. Goes off the head of a player. Fired right back up by Bedford. Back in by Concord. There's Devaney. And Pope for the tie. Gets it across to Graham. Back to Pope. Bedford defense, though, is keeping him at the perimeter.
Good ball movement by Concord.
Toller with it. Over to Devaney. Tries to feed it to her teammate, but broken up by Bedford. Very nice defensive play there.
Yeah, almost a through ball for Concord, but Brianna Coco was able to deflect it out of bounds, and now it's a corner kick by Concord.
So the Tide with the corner kick. Here comes the ball. Into the crowd, a header, loose ball in the crowd. Finally, Bedford comes up with it.
Oh, Concord got it back, but they shot wide.
Really no room to shoot it through.
No, that'll be a goal kick for Bedford.
14:07 remaining here in the first half. Bedford up 1-0 on a goal by Tulin at 33-32 of the half.
Jess O'Brien taking the goal kick.
To midfield. And Graham will settle it down for the Tide. Long lead-in pass to Toller. Broken up by Bedford, but Graham takes it back. There's Pope being watched by Salas. Long kick in is intercepted by the Bulldogs. Pass up, broken up again by Concord, and brought in along the sideline for Silverstein along the far out of bounds line, sends it back up, kick back in, and
Caitlin
Hernick,
Hernick
she comes way out to pick it up. And she'll just roll the ball over to DeAngelis. Up the field, Graham intercepts. Sent out of bounds by Bedford. It'll be a throw-in for Graham and Concord. Pass up there to Toller off her head, but Bedford kicks it out. And bounces to midfield. Allison Yansky has it. Sends it across to her teammate, Pope.
So Brianna Coco kicked a long one down to midfield, and unfortunately, there really was not anybody from Bedford there to pick it up. It went straight to Concord, and then they just took it over. Then the ball rolled out. But Bedford needs to step up their offense, I believe, to make some more penetration into the box.
They really have only had the one breakaway by Tolan to generate any kind of real scoring opportunities here. But frankly, neither has Concord. They've had the advantage of control, but mostly at midfield. No real serious defensive opportunities, and the only one they had was ruled offsides.
Right.
Ball's out of bounds, and Concord will throw it in. Broken up there by Bedford, back out. Concord will have to throw it in again.
Pass
Ball
up
up the sideline. And Bedford will just knock it back out. There'll be another throw-in for Concord. Sydney Plant now. She throws it in. Knocked back out. Plant tries to maintain control, goes up in the air. And looks like we're going to have a call here, a foul going against the Bulldogs. A free kick for Pope of Concord.
Yep, near the sideline.
10:48 remaining in this half. 1-0, Bedford in the lead. No, Pope with the free kick from about 30 yards out. Long kick.
Straight to the
Mallet
keeper.
makes the save. Well, we have a whistle and a foul. Oh, it's going to be called on Concord for interfering with the keeper. So good break there for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, the kick was right to the keeper. She was there, but she slapped it down, so the ball was still bouncing around. It could have been knocked back into the goal, but the whistle saved Bedford there.
Bedford with the long kick to midfield. And they come up with it. There's a feed to Paige Muir. Couldn't quite control it. Salas loses control of it. And it goes up to Ashley Plant, who sends it down the sideline. Bedford will chase it down. Sends it across, and now upfield. Nothing but white shirts there to meet the ball. Down the sideline. Looks like a race to the ball. Bedford will just give up the out of bounds to Concord.
Jess O'Brien kicked it out of the sideline instead of letting it go down the baseline, so it must have been last touched by a Bedford player. She didn't want a corner kick.
On the throw-in. Header upfield and past Pope. She gets the ball over to Riddell. Pope has it again, now to Graham, but that's intercepted and sent down.
Yep.
Bedford had control for a moment. Now the ball goes out of bounds, and the ruling will be Concord ball.
Concord. Oh, I said
it'd be Bedford ball. Okay.
Bedford throw-in.
So DeAngelis with the throw-in here at midfield.
We just had another substitution on defense, it appears. I think Jess O'Brien came out.
Bobotis back to DeAngelis. That's taken away by Devaney. Now Silverstein takes it up. Now here's a feed. Broken up very nicely by Bedford. That pass to Ashley Plant could have turned into something, but the defender got back in a hurry. That was number 7, DeAngelis, who broke the play up and wound up just giving up a corner kick instead of a scoring opportunity there for Concord.
And Brianna Coco thought that was going to be Bedford goal kick. She thought she was following it out of the bounds, but apparently the referee felt that Bedford touched it last. So it is a corner kick for Concord.
So the corner kick is coming from the right corner.
Ooh,
a very timely play there by Devaney to get to it, but instead knocks it out of bounds. Very dangerous play there by the Tide. Good scoring opportunity there, but for naught.
almost went in near the front post, but it did go wide.
Goal kick broken up there by Devaney. Bedford kicks it right back.
Kicks it out of bounds.
Sydney Plant chases it down. She'll do the throw-in for Concord. Ball's loose at midfield. 2 players fighting for it. Now another one coming in. Flynn tries to get control. It goes down the Bedford sideline, chased by Concord, and a long kick picked up by Hernack.
There's a cross straight to the goalkeeper for Bedford. Now she'll be punting it.
6:39 left in the half. Paige Muir had it momentarily.
She headed it to the middle of the field, and Concord takes it over.
Silverstein to Graham. Graham takes the long kick. That's just going to roll over, and thought it was going to go out of bounds momentarily. Instead, Bedford decided to play it, kick it up to the goaltender Hernack. And now Salas takes a moment here as we reach the 6-minute mark of the first half. Bedford up 1-0. There's a long kick. Knocked back in. Broken up by Bedford. And they're coming the other way with some room to operate. Tulin, the goal scorer, gets it up, taken away by Concord. Now coming back the other way. Here's an opportunity.
Nice feed.
This is McEachern. She got the ball away momentarily, but got control of it back. She's being watched closely there by Riddell. Riddell finally kicks it out of bounds. They'll give up possession to Bedford on a throw-in.
Yep, it will be Bedford throwing almost a corner kick, but it came on this side of the flag.
So McEachern ready to throw it in from the corner. Probably can't reach the goal. Actually, she's going to let number 9, Forte.
She may be doing her flip throw-in that sends it toward the middle of the field.
She takes a long lead in, and she does. There's a big throw-in, almost a corner kick delivery. Ball is loose in front, finally kicked away.
It was a nice
settle down
right in front of the goal, but nobody was able to get it inside.
McEachern sends it into the corner, nobody there. And the ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be Bedford ball. That was a great throw in there. Really got a lot of power in that flip.
Yeah, they use that tool once in a while, and used correctly, it can really help Bedford out if it's taken advantage of.
On the throw in, Riddell intercepts. Bedford takes it back. That's blocked. Still control being fought over, and it goes out of bounds. What will be the call here? It'll be Concord's ball.
Throw in. About midfield.
On the inbound, the ball bounces off a Bedford player. They'll retain possession. Concord will. Riddell with the throw-in. Another out-of-bounds play there. Concord just keeps moving down the field with these out-of-bounds plays. Another throw-in.
Mm-hmm.
Control finally turned over there off a Concord player. Bedford will have the throw-in.
Yep.
With about 3:30 remaining in this half.
And again, another throw-in for Bedford.
Off the Concord player there.
And we have another substitution. Paige Muir is coming out. And we have number 6, Taryn.
Neftali. Along the sideline, 2 players fighting for possession. Finally Concord with it. Broken up.
Ellie
To
Flynn.
midfield now to Graham. Graham sends it in, taken back by Bedford. But Toller gets it back to Pope. Across to Riddell. Sorry, Sydney Plant, number 21. Ball goes off a Bedford player out of bounds. Concord will retain control with the throw-in. Plant will take the ball.
We have about 2.5 minutes left in this game, in this half.
Thrown in. Centering pass now to number 9, Carly Richards. Long kick,
Yep.
but
Shot on
Hernex
goal.
very easily handles that on a bounce.
Yeah, not a challenge for her.
Punted away to Naftali. She has it, now gets it back off the player there. Naftali steps out of bounds. They're gonna, what are they gonna call this?
I think it'll be Bedford throwing.
It'll be Bedford throwing. Okay, they said the ball went out of bounds before Naftali made contact with it. On the throw-in, goes out of bounds.
Another Bedford throwing.
DeAngelis. Gets it to Flynn, but taken away by Concord. That's number 4, Silverstein. Long lead to Pope. Sends it down the sideline for DeAngelis. And she kicks it away, gives up possession just to...
I believe she kicked it off the Concord player.
but no, they're gonna give that to Concord instead.
They will.
Throw in the middle, kicked away. All the way to midfield. Graham has to chase it down. Intercepted by Bedford. McEachern tries to get it up to Tulin. Tulin gets by one defender, feeds it up. Back to Tulin. Kick is blocked. Tulin now gets it back to her partner. Up to McEachern. She gives the header forward, and Mallet has to come out and make the play. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're now on officials' time. The officials will decide when to blow the whistle here. They stopped the running clock at 2 minutes. McEachern tries to get around defender and does. Being pushed off the ball, but she comes up with it. There's a shot. Mallet has it. That was a very nice play there by McEachern, showing some control while being harassed.
And she did take a nice shot. Unfortunately, straight to the goalkeeper.
So Mallet's long kick up to Toller. Knocked back. Graham has it momentarily. What do we have here? A whistle?
I think it was a handball on Concord.
So DeAngelis now has a free kick from about the 36-yard line. There's a long kick, and Mallet's able to get in front of it.
It blew the whistle for the half.
So that's it. That's a rather quick 2 minutes. No injury time to really worry about.
What they typically do is let the ball land first before blowing the whistle, but he blew the whistle when the ball was still in the air. That's it for the first half. 1-0. Bedford is up. Over
on a goal by Tulin. That came at 33-32. So we're going to take about a 10-minute break, and we'll come back for second half action. You're watching Bedford and Concord Girls Division I Soccer here on BCTV 23. And we are back now for second half action between the Concord Crimson Tide and the Bedford Bulldogs. Bedford now with a 1-0 lead, thanks to a goal by Tulin at the 33-32 mark. Nice breakaway down the middle that beat the Concord goalkeeper.
Yeah, they found an opening in the defense, and Livia really took control of that situation and put it into the bottom left corner.
Pretty big game here for tournament time. The winner will have the advantage in seeding. And we're ready to begin play here.
It's been a close game as far as possession is concerned. I think Concord has the edge on that.
In possession for sure, but Bedford has been able to seal off the zone in front of the goals. So really only one big scoring chance that the Tide had that was shot wide of the post. Now up the sideline comes the pass. And that's broken up by Bedford, knocked away there by number 9, Gabriella Forte. Throw in now by Concord. That's Plant, throws it in, off the head of a player and kicked right back out of bounds by Forte once again. Plant throws it in, too far. Forte kicks it again out of bounds. Do you think they're just going to try to play a little keep away here the rest of the way, try to sit on that 1-0 lead?
I have to think Forte was just trying to kick out field and it went out of bounds. And it's third time in a row.
Just keep hitting it at number 9. She'll keep kicking it out of bounds. So now she has a chance to kick it up, and it stays in bounds. Plant has it, but it goes off of Plant.
Now it's
and Bedford has the ball. DeAngelis with the throw-in. Up the sideline to Flynn. Naftali along the sideline fighting with Devaney and takes it over there. Bedford takes it back again. Up the sideline. There's a shot that rolls to the goalkeeper, Mallet.
Naftali was trying to pass it to Paige Muir in the middle, but the goalkeeper got to it first.
Now kick to midfield where Toller has it. Taken away there by number 7, DeAngelis.
Now
back to Concord. To Plant. Up the board there. To Toller. She has to fight off a defender. And finally Tulin kicks it out of bounds. Concord with the throw-in. Bedford takes it away. Flynn tries to send it up. McEachern picks it up. Now the kick back into the Bedford zone and then right back the other way. A little bit of ping pong here. Finally Bedford has some room to operate. Long lead pass, too far.
Out of bounds, Concord ball.
For number 3, Paige Muir, and that is a Concord possession there. So Toller with it along the sideline, taken away by Tulin. Back to Tulin. Pass over to McEachern. She gets to the sideline to Naftali. A long kick, but easily handled there by Mallet.
Yeah, straight to the goalkeeper.
I guess the key there is trying to kick it high enough so that it kind of gets under the crossbar, but over the head of the keeper.
Yep.
Couldn't quite get enough leg on that kick.
Or center it so that a Bedford player up top can tap it in.
Now along the sideline, Concord takes it back. They get it up. Ball goes out of bounds. Concord will retain possession. There's a throw in by Graham. Taken away by Bedford. There's McEachern. She loses it.
Ball got too far ahead of her.
But right back into play. McEachern tries to get it ahead to Tulin. McEachern still with it. Has a chance. There's a kick. Oh, just over the crossbar. That's what we were talking about, trying to fit it in just under the crossbar. There was a little too much on that kick.
Yep.
But a great play there by McEachern. Great opportunity for the Bulldogs.
A little too high over the crossbar.
Now Mallet has it for the goal kick. She puts her leg into it. Goes to midfield. Headered up.
Ashley Plant carrying it and passed it on. Concord still possesses it.
Devaney across the Plant. Two players on her. Plant has it again. Into a crush with some Bedford players. Tulin winds up losing it, but it goes off another player there. DeAngelis tries to make a play, but it's off a Concord player, and DeAngelis will have the throw in. Too far. Now McEachern tries to send it down for her teammate. That went too far for Tulin. Concord just winds up kicking it out of bounds, so we'll have a throw in here.
DeAngelis with the throw in. To Ellie.
Concord takes it over. That's Devaney. She's fighting, and they're going to call, I guess, a foul there on Bedford. Getting a little too physical there with Devaney on the play. So the Tide will have a free kick here. Number 12, Allison Yansky. Sends it in. Off the head of a Bedford player. Skips ahead, but it's cleared out of bounds.
That header went in the wrong direction. It went back toward the goalkeeper. Should have gone the other way. Dangerous.
On the throw-in. Plant has it. Sends it across. Too far for Devaney. Now McEachern in midfield. She has it. One-on-one with Plant. Gets by her. Feeds it ahead. The pass goes too far for any of the Bedford players to control, and Concord just lets it roll out. We'll take the free kick here, or the goal kick, by Mallet. 34 minutes left in the game. Bedford up 1-0. The goal kick.
Line drive.
Devaney had it momentarily, and then gets by two defenders. Still has it. Got by a slew of defenders. Tries to feed it up. Here's an opportunity for Concord. And
that was a great save by Caitlin Hernack.
She came all the way out. Pretty dangerous play, too. If she hadn't made the play, then she would have just left the goal wide open there.
She really had to close the angle.
It's the gamble you take when you're a goalkeeper, whether to cut the angle down or try to face the shot.
Right.
There's Devaney being checked. The Plant. Actually, that's Plant with the ball right now. Feed down the middle. Broken up by Bedford. Sends it up now, where McEachern meets the ball and gets control of it. There's a feed pass to Tulin. She tries to send it down the sideline, but nobody there.
Ewers chasing it down. And kicked out of bounds.
Yansky just follows it out of bounds there for Concord.
Bedford throw-in. I wonder if we'll get another one of those flip throw-ins. Nope.
And a foul on the Bedford player will result in a Bedford possession, I believe.
Free kick by Concord.
And the kick in. Centering pass to Toller. She chases it down. Now Plant with it. Tries to feed Toller. She does. Toller has the ball taken away.
Paige Muir sends it upfield to
McEachern tries to chase it before it goes out of bounds. She gets there just in time.
She's got speed, but she couldn't get to it fast enough, and Concord kicked it out of bounds.
They'll just give up possession there for the throw-in. McEachern with the ball now ready to throw it in. Gives the ball to number 9, Forte. We'll see if we have another one of these flips, and we do. Throw in toward the goal. Knocked away there by Devaney. Ball still loose. Up to the point for Tulin. Her kick sails over the goal.
Can I be the coach and captain for the game? Only if they win. Okay.
And a goal kick now for Concord. Here's a kick by Mallet. Off a header. And bounces back to Concord momentarily. And they come up with the ball.
Concord is able to do a lot of passes and hold on to the ball.
Toller tries to feed it up. Broken up by Bedford. Now they get the ball back. 19 has it. Get them a Pope. Silverstein now. Centering pass broken up by the Bulldogs.
Coco.
Pope across to Plant. Sends it across, too far out of bounds. This should be Bedford's ball.
Yeah, Bedford throwing.
DeAngelis up to Tulin. She loses it to Toller.
And out of bounds again, and it'll be another Bedford throw-in. DeAngelis.
She gets it up to McEachern. McEachern sends it across. Broken up by Concord. And Graham sends it up to Carly Richards, who kicks it out of bounds, I believe. Yes, and it'll be another throw-in for the Bulldogs.
Bedford.
Concord takes it away. Devaney has it. Feeds it inside, broken up by Bulldogs. Back up, knocked back in. There's a long kick by Toller,
Shot on goal.
but Hernack is able to control that and is ready to punt it away. Gets the ball to McEachern. Hits Flynn in the back. And the ball's out of bounds there. Bedford ball. Down the throw-in. Picked off by Silverstein. Now in the middle to Devaney. Devaney tries to get away from one defender, sends it across to Plant. Plant has some room, fires a kick, it's blocked. Blocked again. Silverstein, now Plant. Ball's bouncing around right now. Silverstein tries to maintain control. Still has control. Ball bounces, almost bounced right into the Bedford net.
Wow.
An inadvertent clearing kick by a Bedford defender went off of number 4, Allison Silverstein, and almost went on the goal just like that. Close call there for the Bulldogs.
That one Concord player did a great job stopping all of those attempts at clearing the ball by Bedford.
That was Silverstein, number 4.
She's a tough player.
So we just crossed the 28-minute mark here of the second half. 28 to go in the game. Bedford's clinging to that 1-0 lead. There's McEachern, tries to feed it up to Tulin. Tulin takes a shot. That would have went wide, but Mallet decides to knock it away anyway. Graham kicks it forward, held in by Bedford. There's a long shot, and Mallet controls that for the goal kick.
Tulin had some nice pace on her shot, but there was nobody there to pick it up.
And there's the punt. Blocked by Bedford. Tulin with it now. trying to find an opening. It gets broken up there by the Tide. They send it to the sideline, and it should go out of bounds. It'll be a Concord, Bedford throw-in. DeAngelis sends it down to McEachern along the sideline. Centering pass too far, misses Tulin. Intercepted by number 12, is that, or Allison Yansky? She sends it out of bounds, and Bedford has it again.
Oh.
There's a feed down to McEachern. Has a shot. Takes it.
You were there.
And now another kick.
Goal.
Goal, number 3. That was Paige Muir.
Paige was in the right place for that cross. She sends it to the left side.
So at the 26:38 mark, number 3, Paige Muir, and if I don't know if they give assists out in soccer.
Assistant number 4, Mackenzie McEachern.
Yes, assisted by McEachern. I was going to say that that whole play was kind of came about because McEachern was able to control the ball and send the. I don't know if it was a shot that was wide or if it was intended to be a centering pass, but
it's a nice combination.
Muir was able to get in the right spot and get it past Mallet going the other way. So 2-0 lead now with 26 minutes and 22 seconds left in a huge contest here for both teams.
There's also a defensive breakdown for Concord.
Now down the sideline. Ball goes up. There's a kick toward the crease. Number 11, Flynn, tries to send it, and instead the Tide clear it away. They'll just maintain control, and they will get the throw in.
Forte tried to keep that in bounds.
On the throw in. Kicked ahead by Bedford. Still loose off the Bedford header there. It's going to be a Concord throw in here in the Bedford end. There's a throw in toward the net. Silverstein gets control of the ball momentarily, still has it, and Mallet has to, or Hernack has to come in out and cover the loose ball there before Silverstein, who almost had a goal a little while ago, was in a good opportunity there. She's quite the attacker when she's in tight on the goal.
This was another time where Bedford was not able to clear the ball.
Now Bedford, Tulin gets by one defender, tries to center it to McEachern too far, but it's kept in. There's a long kick, deflected and reeled in by Mallet.
Yep, long shot taken there by McEachern. Or is it? I believe it's McEachern.
And the goal kick to center field, knocked back toward the Concord goal. Flynn loses it there to Silverstein. Sends the long pass. Race for it. And the ball is just knocked away by Bedford.
Correction, that last shot was by Salas, not McEachern.
So a throw in the Bedford end by the Tide over the head of the Concord defender.
Bedford lets it roll out, and it's a goal kick for Bedford.
So there we have Forte now ready to deliver the goal kick. 23:47 to play here. 2-0 Bulldogs in the lead.
I believe that was Jess O'Brien who took the goal kick.
That was number 9. Forte, I believe. Or was...
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Oh, yep. Looks like number 9. My bad.
So along the sideline, Muir, our goal scorer, recently just sent the ball out of bounds. Now Graham throws it in for Concord. Off Muir's head. Gets it over. Feed pass there to Tulin. She's in the slot. McEachern has the ball. Takes a shot. That's blocked. And goes back up and taken over by Concord. They send a long shot now. It's a race where Hernick just scoops it up. No opportunity there for the Tide.
Hernick was waiting for that right on the other side of the line.
DeAngelis with the kick up. Bedford takes control and kicks it back into the Concord end. Here's a race with McEachern. McEachern gets by just momentarily, had the edge on the number 24 Riddell.
Yep, she's got
But
some
instead
good
they're going to
speed.
get the corner kick here. So McEachern's going to position the ball for the corner. Clock ticking away, 22:20 remaining in the game. Bedford up 2-0 against the Tide of Concord. A chance to go back into first place after losing to Londonderry a few nights ago.
Handball, Bedford.
So possession will go the other way to Concord.
Free kick right around the edge of the box.
Taken by Hernick. I'm sorry, taken by Mallet, the goalkeeper for Concord. And she puts her leg into it. Bounces up to O'Brien, number 13.
And out of bounds. Concord throwing.
Bedford manages to get control but loses it. And they said it went off a Concord player, so it'll be another throw-in for the Bulldogs.
And there's a substitution taking place for Concord right now. Number 14, Lillian Rienstra's coming off.
And what do we have coming in? Who do we have? Number 7?
7,
Toller.
Nicole Toller.
So on the throw-in, McEachern has control, sends it down the sideline to Tulin. She gets it across. Oh, what an opportunity there, just over the net.
Sent it right over the crossbar.
That was a great setup, but number 6, that was Neftali, just couldn't control the pass, sent it up too high. Tried to get it top shelf and send it over the net. So missed opportunity there for the Bulldogs. Goal kick moves up to midfield, where Silverstein has it. What do we have here? A foul. Whistle is blown.
Can't tell.
Trying to figure out what is happening here. I guess
Might be okay, it is a free kick.
it'll be a penalty kick here, but it's coming from a good ways out, about 45, 50 yards. Kicked in there to Plant. Back across. Shot there is blocked. Where McEachern takes over for Bedford. Here come the Dogs the other way.
Through
Lead
ball.
pass to McEachern, and she's being watched, but gets the shot away. Loose ball, and Mallet is there to scoop up the loose ball. Another close call there for the Bulldogs. Chance to add to the 2-0 lead they already have.
Bulldogs are on offense are really stepping up now. We had 3 offensive players coming in on the goalkeeper there, and that's a lot better than what we saw in the first half.
Absolutely. Making their opportunities for sure. Now Toller, she sends it up the line for Devaney, but the whistle blows. Somebody say it was an offsides play?
Looked offsides.
So Bedford with the free kick here. Forte sends it up. But Concord comes up with it. That's Toller. She sends it up and away too far for her teammate. Being chased down by Bedford, and they just do the safe thing and knock it out of bounds, give up the throw-in. Now Toller, she throws it in. Devaney tried to make a play for it. Bedford sends it to the sideline, not far enough though. The Tide hold it in. There's a kick to Pope. She's being watched. Pope still trying to maintain control.
Tapped
Turns
out.
it over to McEachern. McEachern turns around and sends it up. Knocked right back. McEachern still with it. Along the sideline. Trying to squeeze through. Find an opening. Changes direction. Sends it down. And through now to Toller. Toller's shot. Kind of a sharp ankle. And a save there by Mallet.
Was that Tulin who shot that?
Yes, it was. Number 15.
Yes.
Now Bedford with control once again. Salas to D'Angelo. And number 6.
It'll be another
That's
corner kick.
Naftali.
Corner kick Bedford.
Off a Concord player. Another opportunity here on the corner. Is that Naftali? No, that's number 4. That's McEachern.
McEachern.
She's preparing to deliver the corner. And the ball's in. A little too far. Misses everybody.
Sophie Alexakos got a little touch on it.
She's back in the game now. JV player. Getting some varsity time today. Riddell for Concord. Kicks it up. And here comes Concord the other way. Loses it momentarily.
And that'll be out of bounds. by
O'Brien
Bedford.
tries to kick it back, and it'll go back to Concord. 16 minutes remaining. 2-0. Bulldogs in the lead here in this contest of elite D1 girls teams. The Tide undefeated right now at 6-0-1. Bedford with just 1 loss. Came on the 24th against Londonderry. With a win here, they'll be able to reclaim first place, at least for now. And definitely gain an advantage come tournament time in seeding. They took the ball away there. Silverstein sends it in. She gets it back and goes down.
But no foul call.
No call there.
That was dangerous because that was right on the line, right on the box.
There's Plant with Pope trying to get clear. Sends it back. But Bedford's there to break up the play. McEachern. She loses it to Plant.
Attempted to pass it to Naftali, but didn't go far enough.
Silverstein. Devaney had it momentarily, back to Silverstein. She sends it up to the corner to Graham. Back to Silverstein. Tries to send it up down. It actually goes down the sideline. Centering pass now. Broken up by Bedford, but taken back by the Tide, and Bedford comes back and breaks it up.
Finally cleared.
McEachern tries to get control, but she loses the ball there to Plant.
Yeah, wrestled away.
Plant gets it to Toller, but Toller can't maintain control. McEachern, she sends it to the sideline, and number 7, DeAngelis is able to get it down the sideline. Tries to send it up to Toller. Tulin, too far. There's a Toller for Concord. Again, those two mixed up.
Oh.
Salas loses it momentarily. Now gets it back to Forte. Long lead pass up to DeAngelis, and she tries to center it, but they're going to say she stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, it did cross over the line, so it will be Concord ball throwing.
13:42 remaining. 2-0. Bedford in the lead here in the second half. Out of bounds off of Bedford. We'll have a Concord throw-in.
Another Concord throw-in.
From Plant. Gets it up to number 9. That is Richards for Concord.
Nice use of the body by Tulin, keeping the ball in front of her.
And speaking of Tulin, she has it along the sideline here. Sends it up to Salas, and that shot is wide of the net, where Mallet is going to just take control and settle things down and get ready for a goal kick.
We have a sub for Bedford. Paige Muir came back in, and it looks like Alexakos has come off the field.
Long pass up for the Tide. And there's a through pass up. It looks like Devaney has control of it down the sideline. She centers it. Broken up nicely by Bedford. DeAngelis kicks it up. And now gets it up to number 6 there. Knocked out of bounds by the Tide. Naftali had the ball there momentarily. Now DeAngelis with the throw-in. Toller for Concord has the ball back. Tries to send it up
Silverstein.
to Silverstein. And Graham back to Silverstein. That's broken up. Pope to Richards. She's being harassed. And now McEachern with the ball. There's a nice feed up to Tulin. But broken up and sent back the other way. Now Devaney with it, 1-on-2. She gets by one Bedford defender. Now tries to get by a second. She's got 2 on her right now. Centering pass, too far for Silverstein.
Paige is coming back.
Here's Toller. Gets it back to Richards. Tries to get by, can't do anything with it. Here's Devaney. Down the sideline, tries to get past the defender. Long kick, sails over the net. It'll be out of bounds. Goal kick for Bedford with 11 minutes remaining.
Once again, Bedford had difficulty clearing that ball out of the area, and they were fortunate enough that the ball went over the crossbar.
Just had another substitute
1-4 Concord.
for Concord. That's is she in? Right, Riddell?
Yep.
She comes into the game. Thank you very much, Chris. Chris Gentry on the camera and also doing some spotting for us here. And there's the goal kick by Bedford. Off the head of Salas. But Graham gets it back for Concord and sends it back deep into the end. There's a header. Ball goes out of bounds. Lillian Reinstra with the throw-in.
Concord definitely showing some sense of urgency given that there are 10 minutes left and they're down to.
I think Bedford would be just happy to go into a defensive shell here.
Yep, protect the goal.
Silverstein sends it to the sideline. Here's an opportunity, but very nice defensive play there by number 14, Brianna Coco.
She was able to kick it out of bounds.
And they'll do that all day. They'll just
Waste time.
Waste time, kick the ball out, give them the throw-in. Graham throws it in, but not far enough. Bedford's able to intercept. And there's the kick there by Flynn. Up the board. Up the sideline. Here we have an opportunity by Bedford with a shot off the crossbar. Still loose in front. And Mallet had a jump on that. That was McEachern who delivered that shot. That was a beautiful kick. Showed some speed down the sideline.
Oh,
got the shot off and almost put Bedford up 3-0 if the shot was just a teeny bit lower.
It went straight down, but on this side of the line.
So there's a shot by number 6, Naftali, a weak one that Mallet's able to scoop in. We're under 9 minutes remaining in the half, in the second half of the game. Bedford up 2-0. O'Brien with the header forward. Puck, the ball is still loose. There's Plant with the long lead. Kicked back there by Coco. The Bulldogs happy to just play keep away right now. There's Plant along the line to Ashley Plant, her sister.
Offside.
And that was called offsides. Much to the chagrin of the Concord faithful, many of them who came out to cheer on their girls. So a free kick. Forte lets fly. Picked up there by Pope. Taken away by Flynn of Bedford. Chased down there by Allison Yansky, sends it out of bounds. Bedford's going to have throw in there on the far sideline.
Centering pass, but straight to the goalkeeper. There's no Bedford person in sight for that.
Are they just kind of keeping some of their players back and maintaining a defensive shell, not really worry about adding the lead here?
That's what it seems like. But with 2 goals, yeah, and 7 minutes left, they're probably in fairly good position.
There's Tulin just fed it to McEachran, but that's broken up. Now number 7, Toller. Long lead is intercepted. Back the other way by DeAngelis. Naftali had it momentarily. It's kicked right back, and now Concord's coming the other way. Silverstein tries to get it up to Devaney, but that's broken up. Off the foot of Tulin. Back the other way. Now McEachran has the ball. Tries to settle things down. Some teammates coming back. Tries to lead him with a feed, but can't get through. Graham is able to intercept that. Up ahead to Devaney. Can't maintain control.
Coco broke that up.
And McEachran back to
All right, some nice
kicked out of
passing
bounds there.
Now Bedford picks up the throw in.
We're coming up on the 6-minute mark of the game.
Subs.
2 more subs coming in, 1 for each team.
Yep.
Looks like Naftali's coming off.
And who's that for Concord? I'm not getting a number yet. Wait till she turns around.
I think it's Isabel.
Number 9.
Oh, no,
That's Carly Richards. She's back in the game.
for Bedford.
For Concord, I should say, yes.
Concord.
On the throw-in, Tulin to McEachran. Up to DeAngelis. The long shot goes right to the goalkeeper.
Muir attempted a header there, but it deflected off a Concord player and right into the goalkeeper's hands.
Now DeAngelis picks it up again at midfield, brings it back in, tries to lead number 17. That's Hannah Michael. A little too far, goes out of bounds. Throw in Concord. Silverstein with it. Tries to get away from the defender. Leaves it there for Pope. Back to Silverstein. Long lead kick, too far. Goes right to Hernack. Covers up. Under 5 minutes remaining in the game. 2-0 Bedford. Hernack with the goal kick. Goes to Naftali. Still with it. Ball's loose in midfield. Finally Michael with it. Kicks it ahead. Taken away by Plant. Fighting for possession along the goal line. Number 8, Ashley Plant has it. Now back the other way.
Bedford gets possession. That's
Salis. Ball rolls toward the other side. Lillian Reinstra corrals it in. Tries to get control. There's a throw-in. A little too far, broken up. But the Tide is able to control it momentarily anyway. They're being hounded. No room to operate here. Riddell to Plant. Sydney Plant, number 21.
Bedford out of bounds, and
DeAngelis tried to hold it in, but it goes out of bounds. Now it's a long lead kick.
out of bounds by Coco. Another throw in by Concord. Bedford's really gotten better as the game has gone on, gotten tougher, I would say.
That's Devaney. She throws it in now for Silverstein. Header by Bedford. Tulin tries to keep it up and gets it up to McEachran, who has the ball. McEachran's definitely one of the better ball control specialists on this Bedford team.
She's got amazing speed as well.
Down the sideline, takes a long looping kick, gets across to Michael. Michael tries to get a shot off. Instead, it goes right off of Sydney Plant, and they give up a corner with 2:57 to go.
Bedford is in no rush to line up for this corner, given that there's little less than 3 minutes remaining.
We haven't had any real injury stoppage time, so I'm going to guess that once they hit the 2-minute mark, it's going to pretty much go
Right on time.
per clock, even though we really can't follow it. It becomes the official who maintains clock on the field once they hit the 2-minute mark on the scoreboard. Now the corner,
They brought up Brianna Coco from defense.
a header. Another attempt by Michael. She sends it
It's
out of bounds, so it'll be a goal kick for Concord with Mallet delivering. Coming up on 2:13. But Concord's got to do something here soon because the clock is not their friend. Come up with possession there, Devaney. She sends it lead pass. That's broken up.
attempted a through ball, but Bedford was able to get a foot on it.
Michael is trying to break that play up, and here she comes now. Michael tries to get it to McEachran. That's knocked away. Sydney Plant tries to feed it to her teammate Silverstein, but it goes out of bounds instead. DeAngelis at throw-in to McEachran. That's where they want controlling the ball. DeAngelis has it again. Tries to feed it up to Tulin. She can't control it. She was surrounded by Concord players. Now DeAngelis again. Feeds it up to Salas. Salas to McEachran. Michael. Back to McEachran to Salas. Down the sideline to Michael. There's a centering shot to Tulin. Tulin with the shot and scores!
A goal.
That was labeled for the top corner. A great feed there.
Second goal by Olivia Tulin, top left corner once again. Actually, she had a lower left corner the first shot.
And I will assume they're going to give the assist there to Michael on that goal,
Yes.
which came right at under the 2-minute mark. We don't know what goal.
Olivia Tulin. Assist to number 17, Hannah Michael.
So it came as the clock went under 2 minutes.
Mere seconds left at this point.
Yeah, I think this game is pretty much iced away for the Bulldogs. Great effort here today. They kind of got off to a bit of a slow start, giving Concord more of the control. They were able to break through with one breakaway by Tulin on a through pass at 33-32 of the first period. And then in the second, with 26:38 left to play, it was Muir with an assist from number 4, Mackenzie McEachran. A beautiful cross feed that was able to beat the Concord goaltender and make it 2-0. And now with with less than 2 minutes to play, a great pass from 17, Michael, over to Tulin, and she put it in the top corner beyond the reach of the goaltender. And the Bulldogs enjoy a 3-0 lead at this point. We're just waiting for the seconds to tick away.
Final whistle should be any minute, any second now.
There's the through pass that gets broken up. Kicked back, and that is the game. So the first loss for the Crimson Tide, they dropped to 6-1-1.
The way the first half went, I didn't think it would be a 3-0 win by Bedford. I thought they maybe would squeak out a win, but they really were able to hang tight in the second half and hold off the Tide.
Players of the game, I think obviously with 2 goals, Tulin deserves a nod there. But I think McEachran, with her quarterbacking in the offensive end, she was able to control the play, able to settle the ball down when she was surrounded by Concord defenders. She really made a lot happen. So I'm going to give her a nod for her effort, even though all she really showed up with was a assist today.
Absolutely.
So that's your final, 3-0, and the teams are now tied in number, 6-1-1 for record, but Bedford has the obviously the tiebreaker with the head-to-head. So that puts them in. I guess that puts them in. I'm sorry, I have to correct. 6-1-1 for Concord, 7-1 for Bedford. That ties them with Londonderry. And since Londonderry beat them, I guess the tiebreaker puts the Dogs into second place. But still, it's a ladder you have to climb toward playoff seeding, and the Bulldogs took another step today.